Man, why don't you talk about that more, Dr. Umar, especially being that they tried to clown you for so long about, not having the school?
I don't mind that because if you know that your mission is genuine, it's no need to respond to the negativity because at some day, the fruit of your works will manifest.
Ooh.
You follow?
Yeah,
so
speak for
my
themselves,
thing is, why argue when you know one day they're going to see the school?
Now talk about the process, because it was a long process.
It was a very long process.
Trials and tribulations
Yes, sir.
and hurdles. So
yes, sir.
Talk about that a little bit and what you had to get through, and also getting funding.
Yes, sir. We took our first donation in St. Louis 2014. We heard about the St. Paul's College, which was an HBCU closed in Virginia. They wanted $2 million, so we tried to raise it as quickly as we can. That was a bit ambitious. We didn't succeed. It was sold to an Asian company. Unfortunately, an HBCU sold to another race. I think is a great disappointment for us as a people. So then we just started looking for a day school. So I went to Chicago, Detroit, Florida, Ohio, all over the country. I was just flying, looking for a school. And then in 2017, I was on LoopNet, which was my main source of new property. And I saw this campus in Wilmington, Delaware that I had heard about, but never had a chance to see. So I'm on my way to Nat Turner celebration, August 21st, 2017, the Great North American Eclipse. I stopped, I saw the campus. I said, this looks pretty nice. When I got back from Nat Turner, I had to go to Cuba first to get my IFA initiation. I practiced Yoruba spirituality. Came back from Cuba, and I got a chance to go into the school, and I saw it. I said, we want this school, but they wanted $2 million. We couldn't afford that. We only had $500,000. So I negotiated with them from August of 17 until February of 19, and they finally decided to sell us the building for the money that we had.
Wow.
So now we got the building. So what's been going on the past 3.5 years? Getting contractors who you can trust to help you with it. And contractors were not kind to us, man. They ripped us off. They scammed us. They stole out the building. The con is real. The con and contractor.
I've been dealing with it for the last 5 years.
It's very real, brother.
Absolutely.
And then finally, we had our second FDMG festival this past September the 10th. And I said, you know what? We may have to step outside the African-American community to get this done, because we've been waiting 3 years for our people to help us. Not for free. We could afford to pay them, but they wasn't being honest with us and straight up. And of course, we know that's not all of our contractors. We want to be clear. We've met a lot of decent contractors along the way, but the ones who we had to use because they was licensed and certified where we are, they didn't really do us right. So I said, let's go with some white folks. And guess what? Here we are 90 days later, and the white contractors have gotten us to the finish line in 3 months versus 3 years waiting on our own people.
So what does that say?
It says that we need the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy.
Word.
It says that black boys have to be raised and trained in how to be black men and how to be committed to the black community, because I think as a community, we've lost our integrity, our honor, our loyalty, and our commitment. If I was who I am for black people, for the Mexican-American community, that school would have been done 3 years ago. If I was who I am to the Asian community, the Anglo-Saxon community, the Native American community, that school gets done the first year we purchased it. We're not sitting here 3.5 years after purchase, just now getting to the finish line and needing white people to get us there.
And what is the curriculum going to look like?
In addition to your required math, science, language, and social studies, we're going to have financial and economic science, critical, how to do your own taxes, real estate, international investments, business planning. Because as we've talked about before, going to college is not automatically a recipe for success, but it is automatically a recipe for debt. So for those young men who want to go to college, we want to give them that ability to do that, but we also want to give them other means of making an economic impact and survival plan for their lives. So we got financial and economic. We have dietary and nutritional, how to eat to live, a lot of your Dr. Sebi type of information. Dr. Laila Africa, rest in peace to both of them. That will be in there. Agricultural and agronomical. We're going to teach them how to grow. They have to grow their own food in order to graduate. We have to become agriculturally self-sufficient. In addition to that, spiritual and astrological science. I want our young men to understand how African people related to God before Abraham, before Jesus, before Muhammad. Those religions, in all due respect to all of them, they're only Christianity is 2,000 years old. Islam is 1,500 years old. Judaism is about 4,000 or 5,000 years old. But traditional African culture and spirituality is more than 250,000 years old. We dealt with God far longer from a non-Abrahamic tradition than we have from an Abrahamic tradition. Nothing's wrong with those. But I want our children to understand how we deal with the ancestors, how we deal with the earth and the land. And so we're going to have that. There will also be science of the black family. So that includes science of the black man, the black woman, the black child, how to be a gentleman, how to take care of your woman, how to raise your children, how to be a leader in the community. And of course, there will be military and political science, if I didn't mention that. We do want to teach them survival skills, traditional African martial arts, both with and without weapons, understanding the world that we live in. Why is Africa the richest continent, but in the poorest condition? Why was Barack Obama made president and it had nothing to do with America reinventing herself? Okay, why has multiculturalism been used as a weapon against African people? So we want to make sure that we are graduating well-rounded young men who can go anywhere in the world and build independent communities. We are a nation-building academy. We are not college prep. We are not military prep. We are not trade school prep. They will be ready for any of those. But above all that, we are nation-building prep.